So this is beyond my control. I want to talk to you about this. When you see g of x, think of this as like g of f. Well, what is g of f? Well, that's the same as, so when I say g of f of x, that's the same as g of f of x. Okay? One parentheses kind of looks like an F, doesn't it? So how do I do that? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take g, right? Because that's the outermost one is g, right? And I'm going to write it down. So g is something squared plus 4 times something. Well, what am I going to plug in there? F of x. What's f of x? X minus 2 and x minus 2. Now we'll have to come back to this in a second. In other words, when I multiply this through, what's 4 times x? Well, it's a positive 4x. What's 4 times negative 2? Negative 8, right? What's this stuff? Squared. Well, we got to do that over to the side. So over here, I'm going to say, remember, x squared means you're multiplying it by itself. So I'm going to say x minus 2 times x minus 2. We multiply the row by the column. What's x times x? X squared. Very good. What's negative 2 times x? Negative 2x. What's x times negative 2? Negative 2x. What's negative 2 times negative 2? Positive 4. And remember, we're going to combine like terms. This gets added to this. So when I'm done, what do I have? Well, I have x squared. What's negative 2x minus 2x? So I said, what's negative 2 plus negative 2? Negative 4. Okay? Now, some of you said it's positive 4. Well, yeah, if I was saying negative 2 times negative 2. And so it's easy to make that mistake, but don't make the mistake. Plug it in the calculator. So it is a negative 4x, and then we add 4.
That makes a lot of sense now.
Yep, that's kind of my thing. I make stuff make sense. So we have the x squared. Now I've got to combine like terms. Now this is going to be a good one. What's positive 4x minus 4x? This equals 0. Take 2 seconds, plug in 4, subtract 8 from it, and you get negative 4. Okay? So just relax. It's going to be okay. All right. So what does this equal? Well, this equals all this stuff. This equals g of f of x. All right? But now they want us to evaluate that at 8. So I'm going to say g of f of 8. And so wherever there's an x, I'm going to plug in an 8. So now I can do this in one swoop on my calculator. I'm going to say 8 squared minus 4. And yeah, I heard some of you guys mumbling, well, that's 64. What's 64 minus 4? It's 60. So yeah, we'll write that down. This is 64, right? Because 8 squared is 64. And then 64 minus 4 is just 60.